Hey guys, so before we get started, just a quick preface. So our audio corrupted for like the last 15 minutes of this recording session, so there's no audio for that gameplay. It's unfortunate, but as we are starting out this whole YouTube thing, we're just working with what setup works best for us. So just bear with us, and hopefully all these issues will be resolved in the future. But without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey guys, welcome to our brand new channel, SofaSquadGaming. My name is Daniel, also known as Decoy Dan, because you have to have some arbitrary internet name nowadays, especially doing a gaming channel. And over here is my buddy Cody. We'll call him Cool Man Cody, just for this video.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah. So here's kind of what we're doing. I know we talked about it a little bit in our intro video. I'm a huge Dark Souls fan, and it's something I've told Cody about for, I don't know, probably like a year or two now. Trying to get him into the series because we both love good stories. We both love Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and those really, really passionately built worlds and a lot of time putting into a story.
Passion.
Exactly. And I've convinced him to try Dark Souls. Not for the first time. We've played a little bit off and on, but we're going to do a new game as the first game for our channel. And I'm going to, since I've played it and beat it before, and I've several times, I'm just going to kind of talk him through it a little bit, talk through a bit of how the world's built, what's going on. We'll make fun of him as he messes up and inevitably dies. Maybe we'll knock the camera over because we're mad. Just the basic things that happen with Dark Souls.
Break my controller.
Hopefully. We have another
I'll break
one.
his controller.
Also an option, sadly. But here we go, guys. So come enjoy the ride with us and sit on the couch.
Yeah, I'm going to start a new game. I've played a little bit. I got this for my birthday, last year or whatever. But I suck at playing video games, so that's why I'm making a YouTube channel, literally just to make me play video games. So,
Exactly.
I played it on his PlayStation 3 before, and I think I made it to in Orlando.
And for you guys,
it's been a while.
if anyone nowadays is not familiar, which I doubt it's anybody besides Cody, that's about around halfway through the game by most measurements.
I got the Lord vessel.
Got the Lord vessel.
Got the Lord vessel. Lordy Lord. So I'm just going to start a new game because why not? Oh, I'm not ready for this.
It'll be fine. Just make someone who represents everything you stand for.
What's the name?
Okay, we probably should have planned that out or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's call him Aegon, just since I mentioned Game of Thrones.
That's very poetic.
Definitely.
Is it A-E?
Yeah, A-E-G-O-N.
You call him Egg.
Egg. Yeah. Egg the short and Duncan the tall.
Leave a comment for all two of you out there if you get that reference.
Yeah, if anybody knows what we're talking about and's read some of George R.R. Martin's books, hit us up in the comment section. And remember, guys, right now, at least probably for the first couple of videos, you could be lucky subscriber number 1. Yeah. And I don't know if that's lucky for you or lucky for us. Probably for us.
Race to number 1. We don't have social media. We should hashtag or I don't know, whatever you kids do these days.
Yeah, we're getting pretty old.
Yeah, I'm pretty old. I'm not old, but I'm already there.
Just old in spirit.
You want to just be a warrior or a knight?
Well, they're both pretty decently well-rounded. The knight starts with a little bit of heavier armor on.
Not easily toppled.
It don't matter. Do you know what kind of run you want to do?
I mean,
Strength,
I
dexterity?
do the same run every time. So
Okay.
I always like to do strength or
Huge
dex.
weapons.
Yeah, because I like the Zweihander Claymore, all that kind of stuff.
Go down to the knight real quick. He surprisingly has weaker strength and dexterity than the warrior, so I'm probably going to say go with the warrior then. And
Yeah,
the bandit probably has higher strength than the warrior, I imagine. Yeah.
Why is he just low armor though? Yeah, it's
A little bit, yeah. And he's trading a couple points in dexterity for strength and endurance. That's the main thing.
endurance is like your, what's it called?
Your stamina bar.
Well, yeah, okay.
It ticks up very slowly for each point of endurance you upgrade it.
And you got to go with the pendant.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're going with Master Key.
To this day, no one knows what the pendant does.
It's because it doesn't do anything.
Not a dang thing, guys. Confirmed by the developer.
Yeah. So take that as you will.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, people made countless videos and countless there were countless threads on the wiki for Dark Souls with theories and theories and theories about what the pendant's supposed to do. And people got very creative. They dropped it in random locations just to go all the way across the map and across the game to check other locations and check chests. But
We have a large upper body because we're a thick boy.
yeah, and we're men, so we're trying to be very muscular.
The intense stare. He like loses his jawline and then gains an intense stare.
Yeah, and thick, bushy eyebrows. He truly is jubilant.
He is.
And so just
Also looks like a psychopath.
yeah, he does.
A dubious Karam.
Kareem. It's another one of the regions in the game.
Well,
The game world.
Whatever.
He looks like someone like with long fingernails pinched him in the nose, and it just centered his whole face around it.
It happened when he was a kid and he's still holding it. I think it would just be a commoner because he's like the one that just doesn't look like somebody threw him in a blender.
He's truly common. He's town person A or B.
Got to get that receding hairline.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, guys, we're playing Dark Souls Definitive Edition on the PS4, so there's going to be the graphics are going to be a pretty good bit better, some better particle effects.
I guess it'll be like more stable at the very least, and Blacktown won't glitch out.
Exactly. So if some of y'all are maybe newer to the Dark Souls series, specifically to 1, or you picked up 3, maybe you've done it out of order, haven't gotten back into playing 1, there's a specific area called Blighttown. It's an infamous area for a lot of different reasons, but one of the biggest ones is because it's like a lag pit. As soon as you step foot in the area, your frames drop from probably like 40 or 50 down to 15 or 20 for a few split seconds, and then it stays with you about the whole time you're in there, especially as you're descending, because it's like a big pit area, and you're gradually working your way down all this woodwork that's built on the side of the pit until you get to the very bottom to traverse it and pick.
I would just like to point out, this hair is not curly. That is all.
Yeah, it's just kind of scraggly.
I think we're going to go ponytail, you know. We want to be like a semi-kept kind of guy.
Yeah, he's like a Ronin, the wandering Ronin with European armor on.
Yeah. What color hair?
Remember, guys, this is the most important part.
Yeah.
Customizing your character. Because that's who you're going to be this entire game.
You know, like, it doesn't matter if you're going to wear, like, a helmet for the whole game and never, like, see his face again. But
you know the true color of his hair.
I think dark purple.
All right. We're never going to see it, so I'm okay with that. You think we're ready to go? Oh, and real quick, something I typically do is choose the Master Key gift as a starting item, just because it unlocks several extra doors and stuff. But here's the intro, y'all.
The world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty lords peeled apart their stone skills. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world.
Spoopy.
Spoofy.
Spoofy.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
This is your fate.
One ugly mofo.
Man, that item effect is just so pretty, man. With these graphics, oh my gosh. Took a little spirit. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the intro. Now we're going to get started. So, just as a small, I don't know, background or context, we are an undead named Egg, evidently. And we're just from some unknown land. And we were in prison with all these other undead folks. But we still have a little bit of control, it seems like. And our buddy up there who you saw was dressed like a knight. He threw us a key.
Do you kill these guys?
You can. You can just get a few extra souls from him. And he gave us a key to let us out of the cell. They're not worth a whole lot though. And remember, you can target with L R3.
Yeah.
Hey, look in there. Let's show them that. So that's
No,
what's
it's
called
cool.
that's pretty much a demon, and he's one of the wardens of the prison. So hopefully we won't run into him.
Wait, somebody died here.
Yeah. So
What were they fighting?
they could have lured one of the little undead guys to him. I don't know. People die from all sorts of weird circumstances in this game. Dang, I swear I never noticed that guy in here before.
Really?
Yeah, he's just totally out of it. And remember, if you press triangle, you'll two-hand your weapon. So you can do some more powerful attacks like that. And R1's your light attack, and R2 is your most powerful.
I figured that one out.
And I love how, like, oily and wet that well looks on the walls.
To edit out all my clearing my throats.
Pretty much gonna be nasty. And here are the main checkpoints of the game, y'all. What started it all? The bonfires. Can't really do anything right now. We're just getting started, and our character doesn't really have many skills he's aware of. But he is the most intense door opener pretty much in all of game history. As you can see, Cody's played a little bit, because right there, a boss called the Asylum Demon, who looks just like the guy we saw earlier, hops down and ambushes you. It can cause a lot of early deaths for players who've never played the game. Then you dart in here, and you're trying to find a way to deal with it.
Pretty much. He's trying to get weapons and stuff.
Yeah, right now all we have pretty much is just a broken straight sword. Useless. This guy, I guess he's not really supposed to be a threat. He's just supposed to be more of a troll kind of guy. Gives you an opportunity to pick up a shield and learn to block a little bit.
He's a coward too.
I think here is your weapon. Yeah. So just picking the basic warrior, you start with just some pretty basic equipment. Longsword and a little heater shield. And shields in this game are interesting because not all of them guard 100% of the damage dealt by an incoming attack. And the heater shield is one of those that doesn't do it. I think it guards about like 70 or 80% of the damage that you'll be blocking. Still pretty good. It's better than not having anything. But the goal is to gradually find some shields that block everything. There are several, but usually you don't start with one straight off or even that early on. And
This is
here,
the courtyard we were just in.
yeah, so that was where we saw our first bonfire. So Cody, remember the trap? He just didn't remember how to dodge it.
Well, I think it just hit it too late.
I know, like, there are iframes in this game, but I don't know. Sometimes it feels like they're not real.
Oh, you.
And this is our friend who let us out of our cell
I'm
earlier.
done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission.
What happens if you
Perhaps
don't?
You can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family.
I don't know.
Thou who art undead art chosen.
Because he's supposed to give you, like, this is where you get your Estus flask. I mean, I'm sure you can just get it anyway. Or you could probably just repeat the dialogue until you say yes.
And I can die with hope in my heart.
Because I think you
Oh,
have to talk to him to get out of here. I don't remember. I don't know if he gives you a key or something. I can't remember.
An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this.
Yeah. So, if he didn't give you the key, then you could go the whole game without getting an Estus flask, and I'm sure that would have been a challenge run by now if that was possible.
And thank you.
So my only question is, like, I don't know why, like, this was like the straw that broke, like, Oscar's back, you know?
Yeah, that's supposedly this guy's name, and we know that from some uncut dialogue. And he just took his own life because he can't get out.
How do I get his souls?
I think you can go pick something up from him, though, if I remember right. No. You can come back, and his corpse will be, well, not his corpse, but he will be here just hollow. And you guys aren't familiar. Pretty much what that means is like you've gone crazy. Like Oscar said, he's
You lost your hope and your purpose.
lost your purpose. And in this world, when you lose your purpose, you pretty much lose your life. And you're hollow, meaning a soulless corpse, pretty much. Kind of like these guys. I don't know though, because
It's like different levels.
well, it's kind of weird though about Oscar, because as an undead, he clearly had a purpose, a journey. Like his whole family had this quest, right? This mission to fulfill, and then that he was pretty much smashed through the roof by the demon you guys saw earlier, the one that hopped down here. And the reason you know is if you look up in the cell he's in, there's a little bitty hole there. That's kind of the only thing we're left to believe, because this guy hopped down from the roof.
Wow.
And you missed like the easiest charge attack. So hopefully Cody's not going to die here, because he missed a lot of free damage. But this is just the intro boss. So he takes a lot of damage, has very little health, and it's just to pretty much the player familiar with fighting a huge enemy, which is what this game's all about.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go ahead and drink. I don't think this one does any magical attacks or anything. He's just like a.
It's like a Dark Souls.
Well, it's been a long time since you played. Yeah, and the whole thing is timing your dodges perfectly.
Cool. Yeah, I think I should have dodged the other way. But maybe I'll get up. Damn. Damn. Wait a second.
At least he doesn't do like hardly any damage. Just a lot of damage over time. You know, with all this stomping around, and I'd probably drink your other Estus too, but all this stomping around and like hitting the ground, it's very surprising he doesn't like fall to the floor himself or like puncture holes in it.
Well, that's why I like the.
Alright, we have found the pattern. Alright. Cody has killed his first major boss.
He
Or
almost.
cool man.
But he didn't.
And yeah, we barely made it out of there. But we're doing good. We got a humanity. We learned how to use all of our Estus flasks in one boss fight, which is a skill that comes in handy later on.
Oh wow, that's pretty rough there, Daniel. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. It's alright though. That's
I needed my decoy.
that's the way this game can be, honestly. Even the easiest bosses can hit you.
But you know, this improvement.
I think there's an item. Maybe on that side? Yeah. Probably where people. No. That's just the little bird's nest. That's where Snuggly is. Yeah, but they hid one item like off the edge of one of these cliffs though. It might be. Okay, I think it's on the other side then. No, don't go that far up. God. I know someone's probably shouting this, but I think it's like a soul or something. I'd go down one more and then I'll look on the right. Other side. Well. Oh, yeah, down there. found it, y'all. It's okay.
Did we though?
The one viewer may be yelling at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Soul of Lost and Dead. Good.
So our girlfriends are mad.
Look, Mom, we made it. We're on YouTube, but we...
My mom was like, I want to watch your channel. I'm like, you don't want to watch my channel.
Yeah, we got to get up to our first 10 viewers somehow.
Maybe
Maybe YouTube will let us roll
so
one ad.
just preface, our camera might die, so this might be a short episode.
It is stated
I'll go check the recording.
that one day an undead shall be chosen.
How much you got left?
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage
In pilgrimage.
Yeah, so this
to
is
the land of the
this is pretty much
ancient
our basic
lords.
setup at the moment. We have our camera is stacked up on a
Lordran.
box that one of the microphones came in, and some notebooks and folders I have for school, because we're both in college, by the way, and trying to finish up our last couple of years, and just kind of wanted to do this just to relax on the weekends, and this is the first time we've ever really done anything like this, so we're trying to figure out the setup that works for us, especially here in my apartment. It's a little awkward.
It's also like if you see me looking outside, it's because it's snowing and the window's open, or the blinds are up, and so I was like, oh look, snow. So I'm like, just died. All right, so our camera just died, as I was just mentioning. That was a possibility of, and since I don't know if I'll be able to get back to my dorm because there's snow on the road. And
It's snowing. It's snowing a pretty good bit out today. It's finally slacking up, but
bigger flakes.
yeah, and it's getting really icy. It's still below freezing outside. So we're just going to roll this episode, and I know it's pretty sad on our first episode for something to go wrong immediately, but that's the way it is. We'll get it figured out. And
It's
remember
okay.
the charging cable next time.
All two of you hopefully won't mind too much.
All right, so here is the pretty much, I guess you'd call it the hub world. All the Dark Souls games have one of some type. And it's a hub world in the sense that it's not necessarily a portal to each world we're going to venture to, but it is a place we're going to come back to fairly often to level up, which you do here at the bonfire,
Yeah.
and all these different attributes.
Quick
And I can
question.
explain that a little bit.
What should I level up?
Well, you're probably not going to need attunement, faith, or intelligence, right? You're not
Well,
going to do
I
any
know that. We're
magic.
going like strength, dex, endurance, and vitality, pretty much.
Strength, dex, endurance, and vitality. Just the good stuff.
Yeah.
I think getting like a point in health is good. We can wait on endurance for a little bit. I guess we can have the sub goal of getting strength up to 15, or all of them up to 15 eventually. Yeah, like strength up to like 15 or 16, and then
So 2 vitality, 1 strength.
I think that's good for now. And then we can just kind of focus on strength until we get it to, I think it's like 15 or 16 to get access to a few other weapons, maybe 18.
I forget, like, this Zweihander's pretty hefty, but
The Zweihander takes, I think, like 24 or 30 strength.
I'm trying to reverse hollow. Should I do that? Save my humanity or?
Oh, before you can do it, you have to equip the humanity and consume it. But yeah, basically, guys, we're going to come back to this hub world a good bit, because there are several branching paths to it.
Do I use it, right?
Yes. And a lot of the characters we meet are going to come back here and have a lot of interesting dialogue to say to us. Because in this game, that's how you get a lot of the story, is either by reading item descriptions, noticing your environment, or by getting extra dialogue from characters you meet. It definitely doesn't hold your hand. Because there's basically only the opening cutscene and the ending cutscene. None really in the middle of the game.
You have a lot of
Much.
dialogue, like, people talk to you a lot, but
Yeah.
it's sparing.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to fulfill conditions just to get extra dialogue. But here's the first side character we meet besides Oscar.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually two bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Talk to him again.
What? You want to hear more? Oh,
I'll turn a little bit so we can hear it too.
Another
Tell me more,
inquisitive
tell me
soul.
more.
Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the undead church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the undead burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the undead burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But
Yep.
I die
The
again
main plague it's
before I
infested
step
it with lag,
success.
but hopefully they've cured that now.
There's just like this ding on the end of my sword.
Hmm.
I don't know. My sword looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
Bloody
it's
hell,
actually
what
it's
is
just
it
like
now?
a pretty solid
You
basic looking
ask
weapon.
Too many questions.
Your mom asked too many questions.
So that kind of guy, and I guess you probably know Cody because you've played or seen a little bit of other games,
The
but
crestfallen knight.
yeah, he is the Crestfallen Knight, and there's always some instance of him in all the Dark Souls games. And that lady we saw, she is the firekeeper for this bonfire. Each one is pretty much lit, or I guess it has just enough embers smoldering because of a firekeeper somewhere, pretty much. And she's the first one we're talking to, but she can't talk. But not only can she not, she doesn't want to.
Alrighty then.
She's pretty much, I don't know what kind of emotion you say she's feeling, but isolation is pretty much the thing. And as long as she fulfills her mission of keeping that bonfire lit, that's her solace. But we need to, I think first thing we need to do, Cody, is just probably go around here and just get all the basic items. And that is one thing that's weird in this game is, unlike Legend of Zelda and other things, you find really no items besides one, I think, that I can remember, that's in pots or by breaking objects. It's the weirdest thing.
You know who this is?
I don't know. As far as like motherly figures go,
Just
the only one I can think of is
Gwendolyn.
Guinevere,
Oh,
maybe. Gwendolyn's the brother.
I know.
And here is this very annoying character called Petrus. He's supposed to be a man of faith. But remember, guys, you got to break every single pot you come across,
What?
just because of the
I'm just doing it for fun.
the material effects. Let's see what he says.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted.
You're correct.
I am Petrus of Thurland. Have
Thurland.
you business with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
He's not undead. He's just a human. Right.
Yeah, I think so, because he, as we'll find out later, he's here on a mission. And yeah, so he journeyed here on purpose and has a mission. I think he's pretty much scouting ahead while his other companions are on their way here. All his companions from Thurland. And we'll see them a little bit later on in the game. But yeah, Cody's just going to run around now and just get some of the items like he and I both know about.
Help me out here, because this is tricky.
Okay, so there's one by the well you started at. There's like a little pathway to the right of Firelink Shrine. I'd probably get all... Well, since you're here at the cemetery, you can pretty much go and do the suicide run. So Well, I don't. You probably don't want to do the suicide run since you used the humanity. And that's pretty much just running through, getting like 5 items and jumping off the cliff. But I think you could probably get them all and then make your way back and then rest at the bonfire. Make sure you use the sprint button. Because these guys aren't too big of a pain, except besides there being one big skeleton in the area. There you go. I think right there was the pathway that goes to a different location. Oh my god, what's it called? Not the crypts, but oh Jesus, I don't remember what the location's called. You missed.
I missed the binoculars.
Yeah, you missed the binoculars, but that's definitely not necessary for.
It's just because you like taking screenshots.
Yeah.
Well, did something just die?
Yeah, I think a skeleton fell off the edge or something.
Oh.
Oh yeah, remember their swords. The scimitars cause bleed.
Did they follow me all the way here?
I don't think all the way, but I would rest at the bonfire and reset anyway.
You know, I'm pretty proud of myself. That went pretty well.
Yeah, you didn't get hit. You didn't get hit really at all.
I was lucky just because I found the right path at the right time.
Yeah. So, to the right, if you go a little bit more, just straight towards that tree, and then to the left, there's another item down that little hallway. Or, am I? Okay, yeah, it's up here and to the right.
There's a lot of cool little
To the
things
left.
in Firelink Shrine if you just like look around and stuff.
Yeah.
You got any Dark Souls jokes, Daniel?
I don't know. The third game's fan service was a pretty big joke to me.
I'm talking about like haha funny jokes. Come on, Dark Souls 3 was still good.
Yeah, it was. I just never like it when they throw characters in your face just because they're fan favorites.
You're literally just talking about Andre.
No, there's several others in the series, but you probably don't know them. Oh, and so fun fact: every time you hear that bell ring, that means another player somewhere in the world is playing Dark Souls, and that they ring either the first or second bell of awakening in their game. So you're kind of kept aware of a little bit of progress being made by other players. Yeah, and jump down there. This is like a secret little area behind here. That's an item stash. Okay, so you got cracked red eye orbs, which those can be used in a limited supply to invade other people's worlds and attack them. And if you attack them, you get their humanity and souls. Homeward bones, which take you back to the last bonfire you rested at. And then we saw a talisman, which you use to cast miracles. But Cody's not going to be doing much or any magic in this playthrough. And those are Lloyd's talismans. Do you know what they do?
No.
Okay, so, well, you ran into mimics, didn't you? In your playthrough, you remember those?
Yeah.
So, the regular use for Lloyd's talisman is throwing it at a real player who's either invaded you or if you invaded them, and it prevents them from using their Estus, so they can't heal.
That's pretty useful.
It is. So even if they escape you, it's really worth chasing them. But there's a secret use to a Lloyd talisman, and I'm sure this is well documented in the community in every playthrough now. But if you throw it at a mimic, it makes it go to sleep. And the reason you do that is because mimics are very, very, very strong. They have a lot of health, and they really, really hurt when they attack you. So that pretty much allows you a chance to freely kill it. But what's interesting about those items you just picked up, if you look closely, there are 3 chests that are fairly grouped close together. Or 2 of them, really. And the one was the Morning Star and Talisman chest. And then the one with Homeward Bones. And then off to a little bit to the side, you have the Lloyd's talismans. All those are kind of good adventuring items. But the talisman points to that probably being Petrus's stash. because he is a miracle user, which is one of the 3 types of magics in this game you can use. And miracles, kind of like the name suggests, is their holy magic. Well, Petrus, as you can tell by like his friar haircut, and if you talk to him a little bit more, not only does he teach you miracles, which is the first spot you can learn them in the game, you can pay him a little bit of your currency, which is souls, but he can use them too, and he's a holy man, or at least coming from a church, which what Thurland, the place he talked about, is all about. So that's interesting. But if you also looked at that one chest that was hidden a little bit behind a wall, and you could reasonably miss it your first time through, that there were 4 cracked red-eye orbs in it. There is no good reason, good moral reason, for a person to have those. So clearly, Petrus has some sort of, I don't know, let's say, negative plot, negative ideas, negative goal that he's kind of going for. And he doesn't want anybody to see it because he stashed all those items in there. But we, the lucky player, found them.
Well, there's so many dead people here, man.
I know.
Like, what are they doing?
This honestly, with my first playthrough, this was like my newbie trap. I died a ton there. And once I learned how to beat them, I farmed them probably for a couple levels. And our first new enemy, a rat. Just like every game in history.
Just like, well, it's not rats now, it's bats in China. Checkmate atheists. I don't know. Yeah, the lighting is pretty neat.
I know. Do you remember pretty good about this game? Or a pretty good bit about the game?
I don't know. I remember bits and pieces. As much as anybody should, I guess.
Yeah. Because these first couple of areas, the Berg and the Parish, are kind of just getting your training wheels off. Or, honestly, just running with your training wheels a little bit so you know what it feels like to be on the bike.
It's very remarkable to me, like, how many people only just T-pose.
Oh my god. I've never seen like the shadow of another player T-pose glitch. Clearly a sign he was going to die. I really wish items were hidden in objects like that.
Who cares, man? This is reward enough.
It's the only thing that almost rivals the feeling of beating a boss that's been killing you.
Yeah, you're right. Traverse the white light. I like to keep things. So I will say this about our channel. I hope to upload maybe once a week regularly, but that's what we'll go for. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we got a little bit of like logistical stuff to figure out. I think what we'll do, we'll just try to record like a couple hours at a time, which works for us. Like I said, you got to run and jump.
Yeah.
We have to, we're in school and a college specifically, so the difficulty with that is it's always, your schedule's always dynamic and not very predictable.
And this, unfortunately, will always, be...
There's, we've always called him Mr. Happy because he makes you so happy. But that's going to be our goal, because what we want to do, we want to get all of our college stuff done during the week, or at least as quick as possible, and then look forward to coming and relaxing, sitting on the sofa, just playing a game with you guys.
Yeah.
And we want you guys to do the same thing. Get all your stuff done, whatever it is, whoever you are, work, homework, family things. Make sure that's all your priority. But then when you come here and you watch us and hang out with us, make sure you're relaxed. Remember, there's always room on the sofa.
Yeah.
And now, I think the wooden shield is actually your first shield that blocks 100% of damage, hit square and it'll show you the stats. No, it's close though. It's 93. Oh, I guess the heater shield's actually pretty good if it would decrease. It's better than I thought. Yeah, so go to the left here and clear your way down, and we can meet the first merchant-esque guy.
Nice.
These guys suck. That's one of the best ways to deal with them. You can also like lure them into attacking you, which takes a while, and then parry them, or do that. You can also kick them, and it breaks their guard.
I don't remember how to kick, so.
It's you have to press forward and R1 at the same time, like on your analog.
No, that's not it.
I wouldn't mess with it since you got that archer shooting you. Probably should have dealt with him first, honestly.
Oh.
There you go. That's the best time to attack him because it takes them so long to drink their Estus. So here we got a bit of a hidden area. Not really though. If you hung out any time at all, which that's this game's main thing is exploring, you'd find it.
I'm an extremely cautious player, so like you might get frustrated watching me play, but that's just kind of how I roll.
Well, this is one of the Souls games that truly does reward caution, keeping your shield up, and usually walking slowly. There's a couple areas where you're pretty much either baited into running through it, or running into it, and then you get ambushed later on. But then there's some areas you have to run through because the cautious approach will get you killed. So it's the game is good about testing you and making you not solely rely on hiding behind your shield and taking it slow.
And then like you get eventually you get to the progression of like where you're playing Bloodborne and you have no shield.
Exactly, and
so
you have
you're
to
just dodging everything.
dodge.
So I think that's kind of what I like to do. I like to kind of like either kite my enemies to where I'm like trying to get behind them always, or rolling, especially for like big enemies. Like I don't know if you saw me like playing the boss. You just like roll a lot, and that's how you get away because your shield's not gonna do anything.
No. Hey, don't go down there.
That's how I get in that building.
Okay, yeah, because we'll have to go back to the other place to go talk to that undead merchant. Yeah, I think this is probably an item not many people care about getting, but or have gotten. I think it's the sniper crossbow. Light crossbow. Okay. There's actually I don't know, like a weird gimmick on being able to aim a crossbow like you have a scope on it, and it involves equipping your binoculars in your item slot, hitting it, lining them up on the enemy or location you're wanting to shoot, and then quickly switching to your item and pressing the trigger, and it'll go exactly where you were aiming. I don't remember who I watched do it.
Probably came back because I missed that. I missed that the first time.
Yeah, I think it was a guy who's one of my favorite Dark Souls YouTubers, or he used to be on YouTube, but he switched to Twitch. Twitch only was Epic Name Bro. Really enjoyed watching that guy. He did a lot of cool deep dives into the lore while he played, and
I don't remember ever coming here. Like this little particular place.
The little niche.
Yeah. Pretty sure I would have remembered breaking that table.
Oh yeah, here's the ambush. I think you can go ahead and knock those guys you're next to off. Nope. Ambush sprung. go. That was honestly a lucky strike, I feel like.
What, that one he got me one?
No.
Or mine?
You skewering both of them.
Or rubbish?
Yeah. It's actually got a good use to it though. You can trade it into Snuggly and oh man, I forget what you get, but I think it's some kind of Titanite.
I really don't remember going to that little area. What's that? How do I get there? Is that anything?
Maybe that's the sniper crossbow. I don't know. I don't remember all the weapons around here. Or the items around here. I just know there's a decent bit of them.
I don't remember. I don't remember this place.
It's surprisingly an in-depth little spot.
This is an undead berg. I guess it already said that, but
Yeah.
got him that time.
Yeah, making up for the missed aerial attack on the boss earlier. Yeah. Here, this is where you came to start with. So that's just taking you back to the aqueduct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how it loops all around.
So, like, do we ever get, like, lore on who used to live in the undead berg as far as, like, who is in control or whatever?
I don't think we know who was in control. From what I understand, I mean, it's just pretty much the town. A bit of the town, like where the citizens used to
There's
live.
always one thing that kind of, like, I guess confused me, if that's what you want to say, because it's like I understand there's undead everywhere, but is it like just undead everywhere, or is there like people that are still somewhere?
I think everyone's pretty much undead and hollow, and we're fighting the guards and citizens that remain. But then I guess you have folks like this who are definitely undead but not hollow.
Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
So many characters in this game have good laughs like that. So look at his inventory real quick. Let's show it to these guys. So he's got some, decent little consumable items. I forgot he sold the dried finger. Wow. But go over to the weapons slot. So if you go through all this, the weird thing about this guy's inventory is every single weapon that comes in the sequential order is better than the weapon that came before it. So go back up. And honestly, the shields are the same way. But go to the very top, and you'll see. So you have a dagger, and then right below it is a short sword. So for just a few more souls, it'll do more damage. But then below that, you have the scimitar. And again, same amount of souls, but does more damage. Okay, and then you got the hand axe. And then below that, here, scroll down one. You have the club, more damage. But then you have the reinforced club, more damage.
The spear doesn't do more
It's
damage.
this guy's inventory is like such a ploy, I think, to new players to sink some money or to sink some of their hard-earned early souls into it. Because the fact is, you don't need to buy anything from it at all. All that are things you pick up naturally in the game. But the real thing you got to do is kill this guy. I don't know if we did that the first time you play the game, but like two-hand your weapon. Yeah, don't let him hit you, because that's the Uchi Katana. It's my favorite weapon in the game, and it'll bleed you. But he's also not very apt at combat. There you go. And you get all the good items. So, see, you don't have to buy anything from this guy. Kill him, and you get it all. And the best part, you get the Uchi Katana. And I know you said you wanted to do a bit of a dex build too. So you have that if you want to go to it. It's just like one of the standard dex weapons. No, we still got to upgrade a little bit. Hit square and you can see. If you go back and hit square, you can see how much dex it'll take to use it. 14. I mean, we're close. It's only like 1 point away. And that's a huge upgrade from your longsword.
It also has, so the way that stuff, a lot of weapons, like, I don't know if we saw it then, but they have like a grading, or damage. So like how good they are scales with your character. Some weapons do, some weapons don't. Uchi Katana does up to a point, and they're graded on like an ABC kind of scale. So like
yeah, with S being the best possible.
yeah. So like the higher, the better the letter, then the better it scales with you as a player,
Yeah.
which is good. And you can like physically upgrade weapons too. Using shards and stuff like Titanite, and I don't remember all the stuff. But
Yeah. But Titanite is the upgrading material. All different variations of it. And the Uchi Katana specifically levels up with your dex skill, or I guess I should say it scales off your dexterity skill. And so I think Cody's going to try to go with what I call a quality build. There's actually a summon sign for somebody. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen one right there. Usually people throw them around the bonfire.
oh
Yeah, this is a little annoying ambush area. There you go. Nice. Getting scared, but that was pretty good. Alright. Go ahead and heal up, because there's a few more annoying little areas. I think someone summoned that guy, or we lost the connection to him. It's cool, though, to see people like us like still wanting to play this game. Still like a bit of an active community.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a sticking point because people on PC, like, you can't buy the original Prepare to Die edition anymore, and so that made people mad.
Yeah.
But then also, like, oh, you got me.
Yeah, I don't know what the mindset was behind that from sorry, we got to take a quick cell phone break, but I don't know what the mindset was behind From Software taking it off. I don't know if it was them or Steam or what the deal
But
was.
people are always like, oh no, it's going to split the community and then it's going to be terrible and all that kind of stuff. But from my perspective, it's like I didn't have it for PS3.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of made it more accessible to me personally.
I know, that's why I was so excited for you to get it. Because it just puts all... yeah, I guess I forgot to mention that, but this game actually comes with all the DLC. Therefore, it being the definitive edition or remastered edition. So, better graphics and all the DLC in one game. And so for folks like Cody, like, that's perfect. And it's pretty much just... I think it just succeeded in growing the fan base even more. And then those of us who already liked it a lot of us picked it up when the game was on sale or discount on the PlayStation Store. I think GameStop had a deal or two with it, but I don't remember.
No, neither.
So right here you got these firebomb joke. Well, they are supposed to have fire bombs, but they can use them at their own discretion, I guess. There you go. You can just punish them now. I don't know if you like doing those jump attacks or if you're doing them all accidentally.
You'll never know.
Before you go up there, climb up that ladder over there, because that'll kill
What is
them.
that?
Oh, holy crap. Kill that thing if you can. Oh, God. Target it. R2. Maybe get a pinpoint strike on it. Dang, that's, oh, man, I forgot what they're called. Oh, they're called vagrants.
I have never seen one of those.
It's extremely, extremely rare. I can't believe we got that like on our first video, but, so a vagrant is a creature that pops up, and there's 4 different types of vagrants, if I remember, watching Vodividya, shout out to him. There's 4 different types of vagrants. 2 that I think are friendly, and 2, which are the white colored ones like that, and then 2 that are evil, which are red, kind of the same color as an invader. And what they do, they have like little. The red ones have like little red crab claws that they'll attack you with. They pop up very rarely, and only if a lot of human players which means they consume their humanity and reverse their hollowing at the bonfire, die in the same spot. I think I may be wrong. I'll have to look it up again, but that's the only time you'll see them pop up, and it's got to be a lot of players dying. Honestly, I think the community went a long time without knowing vagrants were a real thing. Because the first time I even heard about it was when I watched Vodividya, and I don't know if you know him, Cody, but he's like...
Yeah, I've watched his stuff.
Yeah, he's the main lore master for Dark Souls on YouTube.
So maybe link in the description for his channel.
Probably.
If you're interested in Dark Souls.
Yeah, definitely a big shout out to him. But he did like a small series of 5 or 6 videos that were like 55 secrets in Dark Souls, and one of them was the vagrant thing. First time I had ever heard about it, and then coincidentally, right after I watched the video, I was doing like my second or third playthrough on New Game Plus or New Game Plus Plus, and I encountered an evil one down in New Londo. Very, very, very strange.
What does it do if it's evil?
Well, that's honestly what I was thinking. I don't know what... I think you may get a reward or a chance of a reward for killing an evil one. Maybe. Of some sort, like maybe humanity or some extra souls. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. They're so rare. I've only ever seen one, and that's the second one I've ever seen. And I've never even seen one like that. It looks like a little mushroom or a little cabbage.
I don't know what happened there.
A little egg with worms popping out of his head.
Yeah, I've never seen one before.
That's cool. Your second playthrough, and you saw the like one of the rarest enemies in the entire game.
You gotta love the ragdoll effects in this game. It's the best.
Yeah, that's the one thing they can't patch. And remember, down here is that Black Knight guy.
Yeah.
So, like, don't do it.
He's not going anywhere.
No. The interesting thing about... Oh, yeah, watch out for this trap here. They got to soften you up a little bit. The interesting thing about the Burg and the Parish, or the Undead Burg and the Undead Parish, which are... We're in the Burg, and it links or connects right to the next area, which is the Undead Parish. They're home to a lot of sub-bosses. And sub-bosses in this game pretty much qualify as any enemy that's... Huh?
Is this Havel?
Yeah, that's the door to another sub-boss called Havel, or some people call him Havel. That's not the
Havel.
pronunciation
It's
I prefer. But a sub-boss is pretty much any enemy that does not have a big boss health meter, but...
It's really tough to kill.
Yes, is really tough, and if you kill him, they do not respawn. Because every other enemy respawns in this game besides bosses and sub-bosses. And I think in this rightmost barrel is a crystal lizard. Yep, so target him and two-hand to attack him. There you go, there you go. Sweet. So that is a crystal lizard, and there's a limited amount of those guys in the game. And in this game, they have set locations. Well, I guess they do in all the games, but they have set locations. And if you attack them or kill them, they drop different crafting materials.
Well, if you made it this far, you're either really bored or one of our moms. And either way, we appreciate you. Just a side note before we leave, I hope to upload one video a week, but we'll see how that goes if technology permits and my schedule permits. But thanks for hanging out with us, and just remember, there's always room on the couch for one more. See you guys.